All right. Thank you all for joining us on this week's IXN webinar series. We're happy to introduce you to our partners here at Podium. As always, our webinars are meant to be educational and informative and to help your business in a variety of ways. If you haven't had a chance to watch one of our recent webinars and you want to find them on our YouTube, or you can find them on our YouTube channel, we'll have Jen here post the link to our YouTube channel in the chat here. You can also find it at the bottom of our website at ixn.tech. So we always post those. We'll be recording this, so if you have to hop off at any time, you can always come back to it and pick up where you left off on our YouTube channel. Please feel free to post any questions within the chat as we go, and we'll reserve a few minutes at the end of the webinar to answer any of your questions. We're going to try to keep our content today to 30 minutes like usual, so you can all get back to what you do best, which is selling life insurance. But we'll stay on as long as there are questions. So my name is Lass Young. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at IXN. So let's kick this off. Today's topic is about how to acquire new customers and drive website traffic by managing your online reputation, especially in today's COVID/remote environment. We thought this topic would be interesting to our customers because I keep hearing that many of the brokerages, agencies, and agents out there are looking for new ways to engage customers and be more digital. It's been a really hot topic as I've been talking to a lot of our customers. So we invited a company who are experts in this field. This is Podium. My guests today are Cameron Tolman, Regional Sales Director at Podium, and Joseph Jenkins, who is Head of Professional Services and Sales there at Podium. They're going to give you some insights into where to focus your efforts effectively online and digitally. And they do also have some products that can help you with this, but most of today is going to be kind of what you can do to accomplish your online and digital goals. And then they'll kind of talk about some of how their tools how their tools work. So welcome, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be here and grateful for the opportunity. Joseph and I love these opportunities really to just kind of get people into a new mindset and to help business owners kind of step out of the seat of business operations and, the day-to-day routine. If you can step out for the next 30 minutes out of your chair and sit in the seat of a potential customer, I think that's what will make this time the most efficient and most effective. There's a lot of really cool things we'll share with you. We're not going to go push Podium and push our product. This is really meant to be informative and educational and helping you guys see your business through a different lens. So if you guys can just kind of mentally get out of your seat and think about this from the consumer perspective, we're going to kind of paint the picture of how the modernization of technology can influence consumer behavior when interacting, looking for your services, your products, your business. So we're excited. Joseph, if you want to make a quick introduction, then we'll go.
Yeah. Why don't you pull up the deck? So again, for everyone joining us, you will learn something, we hope, today. Generally speaking, when we speak at conferences, back when conferences existed, now it's webinars, people would generally leave with something that they could go do that day, right? These are simple nuggets that should help you out. And there's also some good principles just to help expand your paradigm a little bit. Again, we live in our silos of our individual books of business all the time, which is great. It's where our business is. But at the same time, it's difficult to zoom out sometimes. And it's good to zoom out and to see some different ideas of what other industries are seeing at a macro level, what consumers are wanting. And again, in the world of life insurance, the same principles apply. They just usually apply a little bit later. And once the life insurance industry catches up, then they start to see that realization of those trends in their industry. So anyway, it should be a lot of fun. Let's go and kick it to the second slide, Cam.
Yeah.
I'll do a quick intro of Podium. There's us. You already know who we are. Great headshots. Excellent. Skip that. Life's changed, guys. I like to share the story of my Mimi. Mimi is 85, little town in New Mexico where I'm from. And my Mimi has never ordered anything online in her entire life. Bought everything in a store. Then COVID happened. And that woman now knows how to use DoorDash. My gut says that there's people in your lives that are the same way, right? That maybe have never ordered anything online. They've never interacted digitally with a business. They've only called Good heavens, my mom in that same town in New Mexico, she still keeps a phone book under her driver's seat in her car, a real phone book, like the thing that we used to use as a doorstop. It's still printed in my hometown, okay? And she keeps one. You may be thinking to yourself, like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, why are you telling me about a phone book? It's because the world is changing, and even my mom and my grandma are interacting digitally with businesses now, okay? Things have changed. Cam's got a great story that he'll share, a couple stories as we go through, but the world is changing, and as it's changing, we want to give you some of those things that we're seeing that are changing and some of the waves that are coming that you may not even be aware of yet. But a lot of times, if you're a surfer, you know you can't catch the wave if you start paddling too late. So we want to make sure that you guys are getting ahead of these trends and you're capturing them when they hit, so that way they're going to help you grow your business. So
yeah,
it's funny it's funny that you mentioned that about Maya, who now uses DoorDash, because my parents had never used DoorDash before. Nope. My dad had open heart surgery right before kind of COVID happened. He had a heart attack, and so they were very nervous about going out anywhere. So I showed them how to use DoorDash, and now they know how to use DoorDash. They go out their food that way. It's funny how that's
the beautiful thing about technology is when it works well, it's making life so easy. And no matter who you are, the user design and the experience that we have with technology has become so incredibly convenient and simple that it's penetrated and permeated, I guess, every single aspect of everything we need to do. And that's where Podium really gets unique. So just as an introduction, so you guys know who Podium is, we joke that we're the biggest company that nobody's ever heard of. But we truly are one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. We've touched 1 in 4 cell phones in the US. We work with 55,000 businesses across about 15 or 16 different industries. So life insurance is not the only thing we do. We do this for car dealerships, for plumbers, doctors, dentists, mechanics, insurance, real estate, mortgage, legal, attorneys, right? All across the board, we are helping consumers find, choose, and connect with businesses across the board. And that's what we're going to really look at again today, is through the lens of life insurance. Like, how do we get more people to find, choose, and connect with you and your business in this world of DoorDash, Amazon, Uber, right? Where even with COVID, you know, it's accelerated all this technology, as Joseph and Lasse have mentioned. But, you know, it says by the year 2020, we could probably skip this one, but, you know, the experience that we have with the business truly is a little bit, you know, it's becoming just as important, if not more important, than the price or the product. You think about going on Amazon.com and looking at a pair of shoes. I mean, there's probably 300 people who sell my favorite pair of Nikes. They're all within $1 or $2 of each other. How do we get the best experience for Cameron? Because $1 or $2 difference is really not going to make a big difference. It's who I work with and what's the experience working with them that I care about more than the exact dollar amount of that product. So let's start looking at this through your guys' lens. How do we make a process like Joseph's grandma, who's able to now order DoorDash? You know, how do we make it so incredibly convenient, frictionless, and efficient for people to find life insurance or your business and exactly what you guys offer? So, Joseph, you want to jump into this journey, and then we'll dive into
there's a lot of buzzwords here that are really good for like marketing experts. In essence, this is think through how what their mind does and what stages there are in considering buying life insurance. Right, getting a policy. There's doing research. They look at options. They're going to ultimately, look at what options are available. They're going to buy something. Obviously, the policy will be taken care of, and then ideally they become an advocate for you and potentially even buy additional policies or increase the size of their coverage. Right. In those cases, this is happening most often in a way you probably won't expect. The referral world, which is often what we think of when we think of insurance, has a different touch point that you may not realize exists, and it's a leaky part of your pipeline today. And that is ultimately that when someone looks for life insurance, they're often going to Google first. They're not typing in CameronTolmanLifeInsurance.com anymore. You may have a website. Good for you. That's great. It's important. That's essential, actually. But at the same time, before we go to a website, we generally type in life insurance near me, or best life insurance near me, or what kind of coverage do I need for life insurance, right? And when that happens, in that consideration process, have a 3-second attention span generally, where I'm going to see a couple different businesses listed with their stars and their ratings and their reviews right at the top of the Google Map Pack. We'll skip ahead to what that looks like here in a moment. But long story short, those are one of those critical touch points that you may not realize, oh crud, my lack of reviews or that one bad review from Becky that happened 4 years ago is what's representing my entire business to people that are searching for a policy.
Yeah, and I'll add into that. So to give you kind of a little bit of insight into this particular industry, you know, traditionally life insurance has been sold by agents face to face. It's this 50-page application. We've tried to utilize that process, but a lot of agents have kind of held on to that process for a long time because it's worked for them, right? It's like, hey, I've made a great income for 40 years selling life insurance. Why would I change now? Well, now you're kind of forced to change.
Yes.
Like COVID's kind of forced people to change, and if not, you're probably not selling much life insurance. And so I think a lot of people right now, and this is why I wanted to do this with you guys, is I'm having a lot of conversations with people who are saying, I need to make sure my online presence is up to snuff, that people can find me, that I have good processes. People can, you know, get quotes on my website, but just find me in my local areas. Even if, you know, I think they're still looking for someone who's nearby, but you know, they're going online first, whereas almost 100% of the time versus maybe before it was like 50 or 60% of the time. So I think that's very pertinent to our industry and the process. I like that you guys talk about a frictionless process. That really is important in this industry.
Yeah. I think even sitting last, if we were still on the 50-50, because Podium is not a COVID product. We're not a COVID solution, right? We've been around for years making a difference in the way business happens locally. But whether or not I got a referral or I'm just doing an organic search, I'm still going to go look you up online. Because if my coworker, my friend, or my family member tells me your company name, well, I'm not getting their phone number or your email address from them. Oh, you said it was Lass's Life Insurance? Perfect. I'm going to Google that. And still my first line of reputation or of understanding who you are is, what do you look like? I see you locally right down the street from me. What kind of reputation do you have? Are you a 1-star review? Are you a 5-star with 1 review? Or are you the type of company that has done this 300 times with a 4.9 star rating that tells me, hey, Lassa is the best? And just kind of going back to the deck, but I just wanted to show you, I don't even have to type life insurance near me. It's Google knows where I'm at, and they're always going to rank local businesses up here in this map pack. And so against, I think it's about 1 billion results, these local companies are still living at the top of the Google search above all of the organic results down here. You just need to start being able to win at your own local level. And that's what we're really going to focus on, is how do we help each of you guys win wherever you're sitting right now? How do we get you to win in your local presence? And that's where this reputation game really becomes critical. So as a company here at Podium, we are financially backed by Google. They're an investor in our company as of 2017. So we have some really great data and of course some technology that we can help you with. But really what Google's looking at is, what do the customers care about? They care about the experience more than anything else. And the only way that Google can judge the experience of your business is to look at testimonials. Google cannot go out and secret shop every single business out there in the world to validate or to see who's the best. So the only way they know of judging who is the best life insurance company near Chicago, Illinois, near New York City, near Miami, Florida, is to look at your reputation. And these reviews are what drive that local search result. Okay. So of course, you know, focusing on this online presence, you've got to give, you know, crystal clear information about who you guys are, what you do. But what we really focus on is, how are you different from everybody else? And how are you going to give a better experience? How will they be treated? You know, especially around, you know, COVID-19, there's opportunities on Google to let people know, hey, we're playing it safe. We're doing things here. We've adopted technology to make ourselves mobile friendly and video chat. And you don't ever have to come to our office. We don't ever have to show up at your home. We can make things safe and secure. So there's just a couple extra precautions I think I would make to let people know, not only do we give a great experience, but relevant to this moment right now, we're playing it safe. We'll keep you safe. And now is an incredible time to be interacting and communicating with us, despite some of the challenges going on in the world. So Joseph, anything you want to jump in and add there?
No, let's keep moving forward so we get through most of this content and have some time for questions.
Yeah.
But again, with regards to those reviews, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're considering that, again, statistics here, you'll read them if you want to. The theme is that people trust people. We don't trust what businesses say about themselves anymore. We trust what people say about businesses, from shoes to mortuaries, dentists, doctors, mechanics, attorneys, everything. Insurance, especially.
Life insurance.
Life insurance, that one sounds familiar. Yes, right? There's all sorts. We work with 55,000 businesses, but guess what the fastest growing industry is at our entire company? It's insurance. Because no disrespect to anyone on this call, but it is the least exciting thing to shop for. It is. We're not excited as a TV or buying an iPhone or anything that's online, right? It's not a highly engaging process. It's highly emotional, especially the life side, right? Way better than P&C.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, different than buying car insurance, right? But at the same time, people don't think about leaving reviews as often as they should, especially for the coverage and the counseling you're giving them. So ultimately, we help you capture reviews on a regular basis. So that way we can increase your Google My Business interactions. Okay. So when someone sees more reviews, they're going to call more. They're going to visit your website more. They're going to view your listing more frequently. Our clients generally see these types of, well, this is insurance specific data here, actually. So these are people that have used Podium. And this is the result of how many times those buttons on Google, you've seen that menu before on your phone, call this business, directions, things of that nature. This is how much those individual calls to action improved once they implemented Podium. And the principles that we preach, right, which is capture reviews, be convenient, and be contactless in how you can deal with your customers.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, the data is awesome, and this is what gets exciting is, the ability to actually show people, you take a proactive approach at building a reputation on your business, you can expect more business. And for anybody out there who's a hungry salesperson who gets paid on commission, which is probably everyone on the call, like, this is an opportunity to get up to the plate more often and to be seen and to be recognized and to just be that #1 seller on Amazon, the best driver on Uber, right? Those guys get more at bats because they are pushed and promoted because platforms like Uber are going to push the best driver. They want to give the best experience. Amazon is pushing the best seller of that product to the top of the search results, right? And this is the same thing that Google's doing. When somebody searches for your product or your service in your area, you will be seen more often. They're going to give you more at bats because Google's job is to align search with service provider or company or product. And if they can make that best match, you will continue to come back to Google, and that's Google's job, is to get your traffic every single time you look for anything. So in promoting the best businesses, they know that customers are happy, they get what they need from Google, and they will continue to come back to Google. And that's why the reputation truly does drive that type of traffic, right? And so in doing this with 55,000 businesses, we know we can get you the traffic. But that's not where the process ends, right? I go to Amazon and see the pair of shoes. Well, then I'm not stuck on hold calling Amazon, hey, can I order that pair of shoes? I'm not emailing Amazon, hey, can you guys send me that pair of shoes? They've made it so incredibly simple to see who I want, push one button, literally, and the package ships, right? I see the driver on Uber. I literally push the button. I'm right here on this corner, and he shows up. He or she shows up. The DoorDash example from earlier, I find the food that I want, I order it, I push a button, and it's on its way. Well, why then, when it comes to buying life insurance or scheduling an appointment with my doctor, my dentist, do I have to sit on hold, leave voicemails, play phone tag, and email back and forth when I statistically, as a consumer, am 6 times more likely to text a business? And that's what we've seen really as a shift is consumers today, used to be phone books, like Joseph said, and face-to-face and hard mail, snail mail, and phones. Then we introduced email, which revolutionized communication drastically. But guess what? Email has a 13% open rate today, guys. Like, that is not an efficient way of communicating. Phone calls today have an 18% response rate. So every voicemail you're leaving, I'd probably, reconsider. It has an 18% listen rate. But text messaging and social channels for communication, voice and video chat like this call we're doing here today, this is where we've shifted. 99% of text messages are opened in the first 2 minutes versus a 13% email open rate and an 18% response rate on phone calls. Right? So it's time to also reconsider not just our reputation and being online, but how easy are you to connect with in these more convenient channels, and how responsive are you from these different channels and social platforms, right? We're not talking about the 18-year-olds who are on TikTok. We're not talking about Instagram posts and being cute and funny memes and whatever. We're talking about people like us, right? I have 3 beautiful children upstairs who all have life insurance, right? I'm 35 and I've been sitting on a phone for the last 20 years. That's what we're trying to look at. I have been sitting on a phone and I prefer text messaging over every other communication channel. And guess what? We're coming. We're not only coming, Joseph, we're here, right? Like, we're here. We are the next generation of business owners, of families, of everything, right? So Joseph, jump in.
Yeah, I think you guys, hopefully you feel that trend, right? We don't have to throw a ton of stats at you for you guys to capture that vision. Go forward a slide if you would, Kim.
Yep.
Ultimately, again, I want to make sure we capture a few best practices here as well, in addition to vision. A chat tool on your website will help. People don't like chatting with robots or someone who is quote unquote named Steve from who knows where, right? They want to talk to a real human, go figure, right? So one thing that we recommend is our solution, obviously not a sales pitch here, but converting that conversation from a robot or from a form fill, right? Giving your email and being nervous you're going to get spammed the rest of your life, to allowing that business or allowing that consumer to text you for a quote right from your website. Go to the next slide if you would, Cam. Obviously, that makes a tremendous amount of difference in starting the conversation, making it frictionless for them where they can literally go, actually, that's how I got my life insurance policy. I was texting with my guy. I have a financial advisor who sold me my policy. And through that, he has now continued to follow up with me about renewal through texting. He has followed up with me about appointments. He sent me a happy birthday text and said, hey, I'd love to take you to lunch this week, right? I went and grabbed tacos. Super simple stuff. But he is saved to my phone as my life insurance guy. I actually have it labeled as life insurance dude. Forgive me for being too casual, but it's how I live, right? You want to be their life insurance gal or their life insurance dude, saved to their phone, right? But you don't want to have to hand out your personal cell phone and get text messages at 11 o'clock at night asking about a claim or asking about, who knows what, right? Or expanding coverage. Having it go through a business line is critical. So you can have work-life balance and you can have your team interact with that client as well.
Yeah. Another piece of this is looking at, all these different channels. It's interesting to think about how different we are as consumers. We're all pretty much mobile friendly, but some of us start on Google. Some people might see a recommendation for your business on Facebook. Some might just try texting you. Some may see an ad or, a blog post. We can find businesses in so many different places today. One big advantage that Podium has is we consolidate messaging from all these channels, as you can see, into one simple portal, where this can now be a scalable, shared inbox where your entire team, as Joseph mentioned, can all work together on servicing clients, taking care of new leads, reaching out to current customers and policyholders, reaching out to them and letting them know you're thinking about them throughout the year, not just every time they pay their bill. So some strategies there that we can help with, not anything I think we need to worry too much about. And we can skip the payment side. I don't think that's relevant here either. But I think what Joseph mentioned, and then we'll save some time here for questions, is really becoming that trusted contact in their phone where it's literally a text message to talk with you, to communicate with you, to pass you more referrals, to share feedback on how they've experienced your business. And we leverage here at Podium text messaging to do all of that communication in understanding consumer preferences and behaviors today. We want you to be that contact in their phone. And then I think, this will just kind of help kind of recap what we talked about. And I know we're moving quickly here, but let's just kind of review these again, Joseph. So, the pre-purchase, there's of course the purchase, and then the post-purchase interaction. Let's just kind of think again about, if I'm using Google for 96% of all traffic, of all interaction, of all search is living on Google today, right? We've got to, that's where we're going to start our discovery process 96% of the time. And we're going to use a reputation to determine which of these service providers do I want to choose from. And I'm going to consider, what do you offer by trying to communicate with you and ask some questions with you. See if you have exactly what I need, if I trust that you're going to be the right provider for me for the rest of my life, and then make a purchase, right? Our solution can help businesses in all different facets with different products and things we offer here. But then also we've got to take those customers who are really satisfied, who we've taken great care of, and turn them into great advocates. And that's where Podium can help you go generate hundreds and hundreds of positive reviews online. That again, kind of recycles back to this earlier discovery phase. The more happy clients we have, the better we take care of them, the better experience they have throughout this entire journey. Well, the more likely they're to become an advocate for us, which is going to feed more people coming into that pipeline. And this just becomes kind of a snowball effect that compounds and grows as your business and agency grows, right? And then of course, just staying in touch with Joseph, wishing him that happy birthday, taking him to lunch, all through that messaging channel. That's what Podium is really built to do. And hopefully you've got some takeaways here on how you could adapt, adjust, and hopefully ramp up some of this modernization and convenience in your business when it comes to servicing, selling, and communicating with your policyholders. So, whoops, I'm back the wrong way. So, just quick recap. Go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, again, we've captured the themes here. Would love to transition to questions to make sure that we keep it under time for you guys. But Cam, incredible, very well prepared deck. I'm very impressed.
We have a good team. Laszlo, do you want to jump in and maybe moderate some questions, or go ahead?
Yeah. So, so kind of a little bit of, I guess, from my perspective, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about a lot of our customers. We have a couple different facets of customers. We have the individual independent agent. We have the brokerage, and we also work with some insurance carriers. Really applies to all those groups, so if you guys are thinking about this, think about by the way, guys, start putting your questions in. We'll answer some questions here in just a second, but basically with if you're an agent, think of this as from the customer side of things, acquiring customers. I think that's what we've kind of mostly been talking about, consumers looking for life insurance. But this applies to the brokerages as well. I'm looking at the attendee list, and I see a couple BGAs here that have joined us. And if you're looking to recruit more agents, if you're looking to recruit the younger agents, get your agents to review you and look at how you can build your reputation that way. It's really important. I mean, Cameron mentioned it, and I'm 35 as well. I'm a great example of this. Is the way they describe that consumers are looking for life insurance or for different types of business out there is exactly the way I do it. I go on Google. A lot of times I'll even go into Google Maps. I'll go into the map app on my phone, and I'll just type in like businesses near me. We're doing a boys trip this year, and I was just looking for a place I can rent like a razor for a day. And I looked on maps near where our cabin rental is going to be. And that's how a lot of people are finding businesses, whether you're a brokerage and you're recruiting agents, or you're an agent looking for direct consumers, or you're one of those kind of online direct marketers who have built this great platform. I think there's a lot of value in that. So I have a couple of questions coming in here. Looks like you already answered that one, Joseph. Can you expand on your video capabilities? Do you want to give a little bit on that?
Yeah. So video chat, historically Zoom, if we've been on one or two, which we all have at this point, even for like a family chat, it's difficult to connect. put in your meeting ID and find the link. And okay, like in fact, before this, and I do Zoom meetings 3 or 4 times a day, and because I didn't recognize the domain for the IXN webinar, it went to my spam, and I had to go find that, right? That hassle isn't simple. And Cam, maybe you can pull it up here. But the intent is we got to make it really easy for our clients to connect with us in that video chat environment. And so Podium, because we are an interaction management system, essentially that inbox, you can solicit reviews, you can text message, you can, again, maintain relationships. But if I'm in a sales process with somebody and I don't want to, or I want to talk to them face to face, to make it as simple as possible, we have our own video chat system built within the product where I can send a link to that consumer through text message, where it pops up on their phone instantly, just like it was their best friend texting them. They tap the link and video populates instantly on their mobile device, and me on my mobile device or on my computer, depending on where I began the video chat from. So a simpler, again, frictionless way of having a video chat. And it's almost like FaceTime, but just secure, where you're not handing out your personal Apple ID or your Google requirements that way. So yep, there's Cam sending it to me right now. I just got the text message. There's the link. I jump in. I'm going to be video chatting with Cam. My Wi-Fi is slow because it's, very professional routers at home with all of our work from home stuff. But join video chat. I hit join.
I hit join. Oh, that meeting is closed. I guess I closed it. But...
Oh, we closed it. You closed the meeting.
So anyways, but yeah, we basically, Desiree, I think, we're just simply inviting through text message somebody to join that video, and then we can go live and we can jump in and FaceTime each other from our phones, from computers, wherever we need to. We open up the ability to share a screen if you need to review a policy or a lengthy contract or an agreement with anybody. That can all happen right here within Podium. The same place you're intercepting leads, the same place you're getting feedback, the same place you're, wishing Joseph a happy birthday is the same place you can now initiate a video chat conversation. So very simple there.
The question was asked here that says, can that link be used to generate leads through digital advertising? And that's absolutely, with regards, let me get some clarification. Is that regarding the link for the video chat, or is that regarding the link for texting a business? It would chat back in. My assumption is that it's a video chat link. I've never thought about that. Cam, what are your thoughts? Do we have some agencies doing that?
Through digital advertising, so to generate inbound leads through digital advertising. Maybe I'm not understanding the question properly.
I think I may understand it, where it's you click the link to video chat with a rep, right, for a quote, right, or having to just like talk to us instantly.
Yeah.
Okay. Capital YES. That was the
all caps. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's an excellent idea. Again, this technology is something that we've got with 55,000 businesses. The video chat portion is something we only have with about 1,000 right now. It's fairly new. We've only had it up, I think, for 2 months now. And people love it, especially in the medical industry and in high touch, high personal interaction industries. It's essential. Life insurance obviously fits that. So there's, I'm sure, some creative ways you could use that link through digital advertising. What is worth noting, though, is that the link is unique to a specific user, right? So you can't send it to somebody that is, just a general link, right? And someone jumps in and all of a sudden it's there. You would need to send the link outbound through Podium for security purposes, for E&O purposes, things of that nature.
She also asked, and then Carolyn, I'll jump into yours, but can existing video chats be integrated into your system? You could share links through Podium, but ours is a native video chat software built into our software so that you don't have to be paying for a separate subscription for anything else. You can use this to text anything you'd like. So if I want to share like a Zoom link, I can put zoom.us.cameron.tolman or whatever, and I can send that to Joseph. It'll send him the link. Absolutely. You can use this as a delivery method for almost anything you'd want to deliver to a client. But no, it's separate. This is our own video chat, so you don't have to have separate subscriptions. Okay, Carolyn, older agents to get on board with technology. I love the question. I talk to probably 7 or 8 agencies a day, typically on like the independent insurance side. And common question, right? There's a lot of service reps, sales reps out there who've been doing this for years and years. You give them a taste of convenience and they get it. right? Joseph's grandma, I don't know how old Mimi is, like in her 80s, but she's tasted convenience. She's probably not going to sit on the phone on hold ever again now that she knows better. And when you can teach your team or give them a taste of, hey, you've been making 5 or 6 phone calls to every one of your prospects before they actually answer because they screen the call because they don't recognize the phone number. How frustrating is that? Yeah, I get sick of that. The stupid millennials, they won't ever answer the phone. All they want to do is text. Well, what if I gave you a tool to be able to text from your computer where you don't have to type on your small little phone, right? That's another reason, some older people don't like texting is because it's tiny little buttons on their tiny little device. Well, what if we gave you the ability now from your computer to say, hey, Joseph, saw your information. Would love to set an appointment. Well, now that just happened from their computer via text message, and we're getting them a 99% open rate in the first 2 minutes. And Joseph is incredibly likely to respond, wink, wink, right? But now your older sales reps have the ability to engage in a much more simple, more native, and more familiar platform that feels like they're emailing, but it's getting a much higher response rate, right? And so here's all this engagement now happening live between me and Joseph across, our particular homes, right? So I think giving them a taste of it, letting them experience it, and giving them a realistic solution that's scalable, that's not their phone, it's not their personal phone number, it's a safe, secure way of doing this. Conversations can be shared, but once people taste the convenience we bring, it's a game changer. So
I'd add something to that, Carolyn. Leadership's tough, right? And I lead a small team here at Podium. I only have about 20 people that dotted line or directly report to me. But leadership's really difficult. I worked at Frito-Lay, PepsiCo for a while and had a lot of employees that were old enough to be my parents. And adapting to technology is tough. There's the hard-handed way, which is, guys, just do it. It's your job. It's what you're paid to do, right? Typically doesn't resonate well. Leading by example is good, but I'll tell you something that surprised me. There was technology that my employees adapted to, that they adopted because it was just viral. It was something that helped. Getting likes was something that we preached forever on Facebook. Some employees tried it, some employees didn't, and ultimately it kind of fell flat for a lot of them, right? Social media is important, but getting likes may not be the only way to use social media, right? What we found was that when you can trigger a response from the client, makes a difference. So you guys have all seen these little red dots on the top of your apps, right? Those red dots cause us to open them. We don't like the red dots. I've got quite a few unread text messages I got to get to, but I'm paying attention to you guys, right? When your employees have a Podium app on their phone, right? And they can go and they see that red dot, they will be conditioned that that red dot means a quote or means business or means client interaction. And I tell you what, life insurance is so outbound so often that finally having something come inbound is a little bit addicting. There's something nice about someone actually texting in and saying, yeah, I would like a quote on life insurance. And I didn't do anything. They literally came in through my website. And so what you'll find is that the younger, most tech savvy employees will adapt to that first. But what'll happen is their numbers will start to climb, right? And then the older employees will say, well, what's Becky doing? Why is Carolyn doing this, right? And all of a sudden they start to follow suit. So leading by example certainly helps, but I think just find technology that inherently brings them solutions and solves their pain, which today there's a massive pain in the life insurance industry in this regard, right? And so that gets solved, and ideally it falls into their lap a little bit.
Yeah. One came in from Jeffrey Hill. I already texted back the response, but let me just kind of walk you through how that would work, Jeffrey. From like a prospect perspective, absolutely. That is a huge thing we bring to the table. But also, yes, you can import contacts, you can import leads, you can download files and throw them into Podium and have a full contact list inside of our software to connect with clients. Let me just kind of show you one of the bigger pieces. Lassa and their team have a typical chat on their website. It's disguising my little button behind theirs, but Lassa, are you willing to play along here for a second? I want to put Lassa kind of in the seat of the customer. What's your mobile number, Lassa?
951-741-4212.
You want a $10 million policy on each of your 5 members of your family, correct? Something small like that?
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Good. High value.
Okay, so Jeffrey, just kind of give you a taste of how this works from a prospect's perspective. Whenever they find your website or your Google page or a Facebook page or an Apple page, we actually put messaging in every one of those channels. It'll be very similar to this, where they're now able to message into the business. But when Lassa's looking for, a policy from IXN Life Insurance, and he presses send, Lassa, show everybody on your phone what hits there here in the next second or two. And then I'll show you guys kind of the Podium side of what's received on this end.
So I just got a text. Says, thanks for texting Podium. We will be with you shortly.
Right. And so now Podium really serves as that inbox where you're getting prospects from Google, Facebook, Instagram, Apple messaging, your website messaging. We funnel all those leads into this inbox. So yes, you will get prospects and new leads here. And this is where your sales team is going to be hungry for these leads, because this is the easiest way to contact somebody and say, hey, Lassa, happy to write that policy for you. I'll retire once you sign, right? But also, yeah, all of your current prospects, current customers, current policyholders can all come into this portal where you can outbound text them as well. So hopefully that answers the question. Jeffrey. Anything else we've missed? I don't see any other questions currently.
I have a for you guys. So for the agent or the brokerage who maybe they haven't done anything with online reviews yet, or maybe they have like one or two, where's a good place to get started with really kind of growing that? I know you guys have some tools for that, but what are some things that they can do to just kind of get started with that?
Yeah, I run into agencies who've, without our tools, done a pretty good job of getting themselves started. The trick, Lassa, is a culture. It's a culture of understanding we need feedback. And if you can, just simply start asking, that's what most businesses are missing, is they don't even ask for some good feedback. They don't ask for testimonials. They don't let their customer know at the end of the call how much it would mean to our business if you would leave us some feedback online. People will put links in their signature of their email. People will, put QR codes on their business cards. There's all different types of strategies. There can be some efficiencies and some effectiveness there. But I think the biggest key factor is getting your team to have a mentality of we need feedback. We need testimonials. And one way to really get that adoption, I'll just share one example of a PNC agency in California that uses us. I know this is different business, different world, but these guys started with Podium about 13 months ago with 5 Google reviews at the time. They've used Podium to make this really, really easy to happen, but he's done a really good job of the culture of everyone asking. And you'll notice that his sales reps are everywhere in these reviews. So Tommy was great. Gilbert, we were referred to Gilbert. Let's see, Gil, again, who is the insurance agent, is very helpful. So you can tell Jonathan helped me out, and honestly, he was the very best insurance consultant. These insurance reps at this insurance agency have their name plastered all over 632 reviews, which leads to a really cool culture of, hey, people are calling because they saw my name on this review, and I just got a lead for myself. So if you can instill a little bit of that culture of, hey, this is a great way to get leads right to your inbox, where people are requesting you when they call or message in, that's an awesome way to get some adoption. So that's one thing. But I think really just having that mentality of, at the end of every call, was this a great call? Did I give a 5-star experience? I think I did. Let me ask Lassa before we hop off, would you mind leaving me some feedback? I'd love if you could go on Google and leave us a 5-star review. It'd mean a lot to us. That little shift will make a pretty big impact. So
cool. So for a lot of our customers are brokerages where they have all these downline independent agents. So for the brokerages who are watching this, either share our video with your agents or train them, create that culture within your brokerage, and then train your downline agents with like a Zoom call on how to do that as well. That's a ton of value that you can add to your downline agents, So I think I like that it just starts with it starts here, right? It starts with the mentality, and then from there everything kind of just comes.
Yep.
And then and I do want to give a shout out to Podium. They have a great platform to then help accelerate that. I mean, you look at what someone who's used them has been able to accomplish here. And so me being a 35-year-old male looking for life insurance, I would be way more comfortable going with this agency versus someone who's got 1 or 2 reviews. I can look here and be like, okay, people like these guys. This is legit. I want to go with
it tells you what kind of experience you're most likely to get, right? And we'll answer Carolyn just 1 second. That's a great question, but I failed to clearly answer Jeffrey's question. So, right, with several companies, 8 systems to see each client within those websites. Is it possible to port that data from each website to see all the data within this platform? Absolutely. Hopefully I'm understanding that correctly, but if you have 8 websites of, public facing, we can take traffic from all of those websites and push them into one inbox. That is exactly what we were built to do, is to consolidate all that information. I'm also thinking you might be talking like 8 management systems or like CRMs of sort. Again, we're not going to necessarily connect with each of those, but you can export data from any like CRM or database and put them all into Podium, so that all messaging from all of your clients from anywhere they come and from all external websites, all Google pages, all whatever, Facebook pages, can all consolidate into one place. So we really are trying to be that consolidation of interaction management, where you don't have to bounce to multiple places to do your interaction and communication. It would all be here. So you write with 8 companies, AIG Ohio. So
I think this is more of it's a little bit different. It's more of like what you were saying on the CRM agency management system.
Okay. Yeah.
Type question. So Jeffrey, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to steer you in a direction there, and help you answer some of that kind of offline. And either see if our tool can help you, or steer you in the right direction for something like that. But I mean, ultimately, Podium can really help you with a lot of the messaging that comes out from those systems, and that you're, as case status is coming in and things like that, the messaging that you want to get out to your clients on, hey, your case is got approved. You should have a policy within a couple of days. You can text that.
Right.
I think that's the value here. And but as far as kind of the base system to manage it from all those carriers, I would either talk to kind of the BGA that you work with, or I could steer you in direction of some of that. So
perfect. Thank you, Lassa.
Yeah. So let's finish here with we got to finish up. So let's take Carolyn's question.
Yeah.
And if you want to put your contact info up on the screen again, that way if anyone wants to reach out to you guys, if they have other questions, then anyone can reach out to you guys. But let's finish up with Carolyn's question, and we'll go from there.
Carolyn, great question. We actually surprisingly encourage a few negative reviews.
So just so everyone knows, I don't think everyone sees those questions. So the question is, how do I overcome the objection of, in quotes, what if I get a bad Google review?
Yeah, great question. Very common. We actually encourage less than a 5-star rating. There's something about a 4.8 or a 4.9 star rating that shows validity and credibility in the reputation. So a few negative reviews is okay, as long as, one, you respond to those negative reviews in a cordial manner. You never want to take a battle online. You're never going to win, and it's never going to work. So just cordially respond to anything negative if they come in, when they come in. But the second thing that I hope sticks and resonates is the solution to pollution is dilution. Okay, just simply dilute a couple negatives with 100 really, really good reviews. People will see, understand that you guys are imperfect and you make mistakes every so often, but when you do, you respond cordially. And more often than not, you're giving amazing 5-star experiences. And we can dilute the pollution with a lot of volume of really good feedback. So really, really good question.
Awesome. Well, this was great. A lot of great questions, guys. I wish we could stay on longer, but feel free to reach out to these guys over at Podium. They're awesome. They've got a great team over there that can help you guys. Take a look at some of their products. It's really worth the money and the investment that you'll make in that. You know, some of the stats they shared there were pretty telling of the effectiveness of when you use Podium on some of those things. And if you're interested in the private demo with myself or any of the IXN products, feel free to reach out to me. Many of you know our products as quoting tools and application tools, where we talk about removing some of that friction and things like that. We can help you with some of that. You can just to reach me, just go to IXN.tech, and our phone number is at the top, and just dial 1. You can reach me. But yeah, so we're gonna finish up. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. If you want to give any kind of last thoughts, we'll wrap it up.
Hug the people you love. You know, life's too short. Hug the people you love, do good, tip your waitresses, rock the vote, all those things, right? Wear a mask, social distance, a lot of things out there. Modernize. That's probably my word of advice. Go modernize and thrive with that modernization.
Hey, thank you guys so much. Appreciate the opportunity. Hope you all learned something.
All right, everybody, stay safe out there and make it a great day. Thanks.
Bye.